Okay, let's go over some few stuff. Okay, so these were some of the questions that player had concerns after the first stream. Like, is it 8 skills class? No, it's actually 12, including like the left click, right click, and everything. And there's total of 40 skills, including the passive, the active, and stigma. And you have to choose, depending on your build, choose like 8 or 12 to meet your playstyle. We're pretty familiar with these, like Throne, Lost Ark, all that, Diablo, all that shit, same stuff. Flying is not going to be paid to win. Wings have stats like longer gliding time, speed, those kind of stuff. It's all earned through in-game. There's no gacha, no nothing, no pay to win. People are also worried about if you can fly in all areas, when you kill open world PvP, as you can just escape flying and shit. There's gonna be some limitation to flying, as in like you can't just instantly fly in combat, dismount them when they're flying, and they kind of like fly again. Also, if servers are divided by factions, for those who didn't know, and people are worried about how you're gonna do like the PvPs, and that's gonna be mostly done through like shared zones and matchmaking, like Abyss. And they also said there will be an RVR, but it's not gonna be like massive, huge scale. The game's gonna be more focused around small scale PvPs, like solos and parties. And mobile version is basically gonna be them just providing another platform. The game is PC based. The only stuff you can do in mobile is gonna be like side stuff like crafting and minigames, because it'll just be difficult to control your character to do dungeons and stuff. But it is playable on mobile. And yeah, they went through all the contents. So there are solo PvE dungeons called Nightmare Dungeons. It's just series of boss fights up to 10 stage. Different factions will have different bosses, and there will be rankings for how fast you clear and stuff like that, similar to the Infinity dungeon that Throne has. And there's going to be Seal dungeons. These are random spawns around the world. There's going to be about like 60 portals. Think about like the roads in Aion. And when you enter this zone, it's PvE VP, so you can meet another faction in there. So like you can enter different faction seal, they can enter yours. I think it's like a random TP and stuff like that. There are these terms are not like fully confirmed, it's just me doing a rough translation. There are camps. These are connected to main story quest. It's a solo content dungeon. There's like this Awaken dungeon. These are time attack boss content. The faster you clear, the better the reward. Next is co-op dungeons. It's a 4-man dungeon, up to 4-man dungeon. You can solo it or you can 2-man it. The first dungeon is going to be chromated, the gameplay they showed us. And there will be 2 modes, easy and hard. And there's some settings where you can have people enter your dungeon in progress. So just in case someone leave during progress, other can fill in. It can be disabled in options if you want. And skip mini bosses, but killing them will give you more reward at the end. And there will be like an ascent dungeon. This is climbing dungeon based on ranking. So like the faster you clear and stuff like that, you get more points based on that clear, and then you can progress to the next stage. So it's like you gotta keep climbing, pretty much like trials in Throne. And next one is called like Invade. These dungeons have random affixes, like buffs and debuffs, you know, those stuff, and it has got limited death, so there's death counters. So this will probably be like the challenging content, I think. And the end game content, the harder content, will be the 8-man dungeon / raid. Mythic Plus, yeah, think of this as Mythic, where you have to climb higher ranking dungeons. PvP, there's going to be Arena with no flying. There's 1v1 and 4v4, and there's a Battleground that is 8v8. It's payload push like Overwatch. And there's a faction PvP. It's like you TP to other faction zone, but you also have time limit. Rift, Yes, Rift. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Rift. You cannot meet different factions because factions are divided by servers. You can only meet them in these PvP zones. Rift, Abyss, Seal Dungeons. Yeah, I guess Abyss is more like a nebula because this is shared zone. I think Rift is where you TP to the other faction zone. But yeah, it's going to have time limit, so you cannot grief the other faction like endlessly. Yeah, Abyss is gonna be like Nebula. I think this is where all the most PvP action will happen. And then lastly, horizontal content like daily dungeons. This is gonna be like a hack and slash, kind of like Lost Cascade in Lost Ark, and minigames. These are some of the questions they answered at the end of the stream. When release? They said this year. We don't know when, like exact dates, but it'll be this year. They'll show us the PvP and mobile play and other classes in next stream in September. The auction house is going to be Kina. Kina is the in-game gold, in-game currency. Main source of Kina is going to be through dungeons and trading, of course. And you'll get less in open world because to prevent bots farming. You can make one character name in Korean. This basically like that's one character of Korean. I don't know if it will be available in English. I don't think it will be available in English, like having like one letter. Console release is going to happen, but after PC release. There's no dates of CBT or OBT. You can do like auto cancel. They showed us in the game footage.